2 years since Natalie Holloway disappeared. So why are Dutch investigators searching the Vandersloot's house now? Here with insight is Vandersloot attorney Joe Tacopina, former prosecutor Arthur Aidala, and criminal defense attorney John Dolan. Thanks for being with me tonight, gentlemen. And Joe, I'm going to start with you. What do you make of this?
I make of it, we're approaching the 2-year point, and what has to happen, Kimberly, is that after the 2 years are up and Neuron's been a suspect for almost 2 years, short of any new evidence that they would have to show a judge, they have to take him off that suspect list. And what I think they're doing is their last rounds. There was never a complete search of that house because the scope was limited initially with that warrant. And I think they're going to do what they need to do to turn every stone over to make sure that there's nothing that they missed. And then I think once and for all, they'll be able to say there is absolutely no evidence against Joran Vandersloot, and this investigation needs to go into a different direction. By the way, something we've been saying for a little over a year now. But,
right.
You know, they're getting there. So hopefully.
Well, Joe, let me ask you something, because there's a lot of speculation out there that they're jackhammering a pool area or outside the house, looking for a body, that they have a new witness or information that's given them a tip to direct them to that area. Now, we are also hearing information that they're going back over by the lighthouse. What do you know about that?
What I know about it is that that's rank speculation and rumor. What I've heard from my sources in Aruba, law enforcement and media sources in Aruba, is that the Aruban authorities want to close this case against Joran Vandersloot. The Dutch authorities have said, "Hold, not so fast. We're doing a new look over on this investigation." And one thing that's blatantly clear is that there was never a thorough search of this house. There have been rumors in this case, Kimberly. As you know, this case has been dominated and larded by rumors, one of which included the ridiculous notion that Natalie Holloway is somehow buried under the pool at the Vandersloot house. They are going there, as Michael said, as Dr. Bond said, with those rods. They're looking for things. I assure you they're not coming up with a body or any evidence that a body is underneath that property, but they are going to look just the same, so no one from any other, faction in this case could say, hey, they never did this and they never did that. Every grain of sand on that island has been moved in an attempt to discover what happened to Natalie, but more importantly, in an attempt to try and find evidence against Joran Vandersloot. The fact that there's no evidence against him whatsoever speaks volumes, Kimberly.
It just seems weird to me that they're jackhammering up and digging up somebody's whole house. I'll bring Arthur in, based on no new information, just reports that they're going over again right at the end of this 2-year anniversary about to come up.
Well, what Joe's saying is that they're trying to put Vandersloot off the suspect list. And right now, Joran is either the happiest guy in the world because he knows in his heart they're not going to find anything, or he's the most terrified guy in the world because he knows exactly what happened and he's worried about them going to find something. This, though, Kimberly, this is disgusting that they've waited this long to do this. They should have either done this in the beginning or then just said, look, Vandersloot's off the list and it's done. It's
right,
over,
for all parties concerned. I mean, this is what's so offensive about it, that it's 2 years later. John, what do you make of it?
Well, my gut feeling is this is either an informant or it's some source of new information that's driving this activity. I hope I'm wrong about that. I hope Joe is right, because it seems like this has been awfully protracted. But it's a little troublesome that they continue to go back day after day without any announcement of why they're doing this. And I just gut feeling is there's somebody that said something, or there's some information that they've discovered.
Yeah, Joe, you don't just go jackhammering. This is what I think is disturbing.
Kimberly,
they're digging up these people's house.
Kimberly,
why?
you do, because this is Aruba. Look at what's happened in this case. They've drained reservoirs in this case. They've done land movements. They've had these fighter planes from Holland come in with these infrared searches. They moved islands. I mean, they've done a lot of things here in this case. So it is what you do. Why they're doing it 2 years later is beyond me. You're right. But, why they didn't put this vigor into this investigation with a much more narrow net. Look, they needed to look at Joran. No one's ever said that it's wrong that they looked at him. He should have been the chief suspect. But now, after 2 years, after all these interviews, after 10 arrests, after everything they've done, including detaining him for 3 months, place a tape recording in that car. Kimberly, don't forget that tape recording, where they didn't know yet Joran was being taped, and they set him up in a way where he was supposed to be being told that his friends confessed against him. And this kid didn't admit a thing.
Okay.
If there was ever any louder evidence of innocence, that was it.
Right. I think we all just want to know, where is Natalie Holloway, and that's the problem. All right. Gentlemen, I got to jump, but thanks for being here with me tonight, Joe, Arthur, and John. And if you have any information on what happened to Natalie Holloway, please call the number on your screen. Coming up, win one for the good guys. That's right. Cops and